So you're a female, 30 years old, and you're outside with bare feet. Very good. Very good. Jasmine, you say you're outside. Is it day or is it night?
Day.
It's daytime. And if you knew, what is it that you're doing around there, Jasmine?
I'm on a beach.
You're on a beach? And what country is this? Just give me the first country that comes to mind.
Spain.
You're in Spain. In a moment I'm going to tap you on the forehead, and when I tap you on the forehead you'll see some numbers come to mind, and those are going to be the years that you were there. 3, 2 and 1. What year is it there?
1660.
1660. So Jasmine, as you look around this beach now, do you sense that you're there on your own, or do you sense that there are others there?
There's others.
There's others, Describe these other people. Do you know them?
I'm with someone. There's other people as well.
Yeah? This person that you're with, are they male or female?
Male.
Male? What's his name?
Jacob.
Jacob, And what is Jacob to you?
I'm not sure.
Do you feel he's your brother or partner or friend? Which six? Yeah, he's your friend. Well, what I want you to do is describe Jacob to me. What colour is his hair?
Blonde.
His hair is blonde. And his eyes, what colour are those?
Green.
Green. And as you look into those green eyes there, knowing that the eyes are the windows to the soul, as you go deep and deep and deep and telepathically connect with his soul, does that Jacob remind you of anybody in this life?
No.
No. Very good. So Jasmine, do you work at all?
No.
You don't work? Well, let's go to the place where you live. So as I speak to you now, and you focus on the place where you live, feel yourself transporting now, drifting and floating to outside the place where you live. Be there now and describe to me, where do you live?
On a road, in a house by itself.
House by itself?
It's got a blue door.
A blue door?
And French window things.
French windows? Do you live alone in that house, or do you live with others?
I live with others.
Well, let's open the door now. Just feel yourself going through that door into that house. Yeah. And as you go into that house, knowing that you're living with others, who do you live with in that house?
There's a man and a child.
A man and a child. This man, what is he to you?
My husband.
He's your husband. What's his name?
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey. And as you look at Jeffrey, yeah, and you're connecting with his energy, tell me, is that a good match with you and Jeffrey?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good match. And as you look into his eyes, does he remind you of anybody today?
Yes.
Who is he?
My partner.
Your partner. Very good. And you say you've got a child there. Is it a girl or a boy?
A boy.
How old is that little boy?
14.
14. What's his name?
Charles.
Charles. And as you connect with Charles and his energy and look into his eyes, and you can instantly telepathically communicate with his energy, does he remind you of anybody today?
Yes.
Who is he?
My nephew.
He's your nephew. So you've had previous lives with your partner in this life and your nephew in this life. Very good. And tell me, Jasmine, do you have a trade? Do you work, or
No.
you don't work? What I want you to do now, Jasmine, is I want you to close that scene so that we can go forward to another significant time when something's happening. So just see you closing that scene like the flick of a switch on a remote control. Closing that scene and feel your mind and body drifting, floating through time and space. Going to another significant time in that life when something is happening, or to another life. So when you're ready, 3, 2, 1. Tell me, are you still Jasmine?
No.
No? Are you male or female?
Female.
You're female. What's your name?
Louise.
Louise. Well, hello, Louise. Thank you for coming forward. How old are you, Louise?
6.
You're only 6 years old, darling. And what country do you live in?
England.
You live in England. Uh-huh. And I'm going to tap you on the forehead and you'll know what year it is. 3, 2, and 1. What year is it?
1920.
1920. So, Louise, as you look around, if you knew, what would your surroundings be like? Are you inside or outside?
Inside.
You're inside. Uh-huh. So this place that you're inside, describe it to me.
Bedroom.
A bedroom. Uh-huh. Are you alone or with others?
Alone.
Alone. Uh-huh. And I want you to connect with your emotion, Louise. Feel how you are emotionally and tell me, are you happy? Are you sad?
Sad.
You're sad. Yeah. I want you to connect with that sadness and tell me, why is it that you're sad? What's happening around you?
I'm alone.
You're alone. Uh-huh. So where are your parents?
I'm not sure.
Uh-huh. So this house that you're in, yeah? Do you share that house with other people?
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, let's just imagine that you can drift and float around that house, and as you drift and float around that house, knowing that there are other people in that house, I want you to just travel your mind in a room where there is somebody and tell me, is that a male or a female that you see?
A male.
A male? Who is he to you?
The guy that lives here.
The guy that lives here? Uh-huh. What's his name?
John.
John. Why does John live at your house then, Louise?
I live at his.
Oh, you live at his? Mm-hmm. So do you live with your parents as well?
No.
No? So why do you live with John in this house, Louise?
I moved here.
You moved? Uh-huh. So what happened to your parents, Louise?
I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want you to go back in time. I want you to go back in time just before that you were living with John. So drifting, floating back in time, just to the time before you were living with John. And who are you living with there?
My mum.
Your
and my
mum.
dad,
Your mum and your dad? Uh-huh.
And my brother.
And your brother? Uh-huh. What's your brother called?
Jake.
Jake. So what happened in that situation with your mum and dad that caused you to go and live with John?
They put me on a train.
They put you on a train? Uh-huh. What was the reason that they put you on a train?
I'm not sure. There was other children on the train.
Other children on the train? Uh-huh. How old is your brother Jake?
12.
He's 12. But did he stay with your mother or did he go on the train with you?
He stayed.
He stayed? Uh-huh. How did that make you feel when they put you on that train?
Lonely and
Lo-
abandoned.
Lonely and abandoned? Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. So what I want you to do now is I want you to go back to that house with John in there. So are you the only person that lives with John in that house?
No, there's 3 other girls.
There's 3 other girls. Uh-huh. Are they older than you?
About the same age.
Uh-huh. So he's looking after you at this time in 1920s?
Yeah.
So are you in a town or a country, or?
In the country.
You're in the country.
In a small village.
Small village. And does John have any help with looking after you and these children?
Yes, a lady.
A lady looks after you?
Yes.
Very good. Now what I want you to do is I want you to close that scene, and I want you to go forward in that life or to another life when something significant is happening. So close that scene and just feel yourself drifting and floating through time and space until you can feel that other life or something significant happening in Louise's life. Allow it to come forward. 3, 2, 1. Are you still Louise?
Yes.
Yeah? How old are you now, Louise?
20.
You're 20. Are you still out in the country?
Yes.
So where do you live? Do you still live with John?
No.
Where?
Myself.
You live by yourself? Do you have a house or a room?
A flat.
You have a flat. Very good. And tell me, Louise, do you work there?
Yes.
What's your job?
Maid.
You're a maid? Well, let's go to the place where you work and tell me, who is it that you work for?
A man and woman.
And what kind of things do you do for them?
Clean, cook and look after the children.
Clean, cook and look after their children. So you've got a very caring role there. Tell me, I know that your parents put you on a train in 1920s, but are you still connected with your parents?
No.
You're not? And how do you feel about that? Does it bother you?
Upset.
Not connected to parents. Very good. So this man and woman then that you cook and clean for, tell me how you feel about that man and woman. Are they good to you?
She is. He isn't.
So as you look at that woman there, connecting with her eyes, going very deep into her soul, does she remind you of anybody?
My best friend.
Best friend? Very good. And the man there, I want you to do the same there. Connect with his energy, his body and his mind. Does he remind you of anybody?
My uncle.
He reminds you of your uncle. And those children that you look after, how old are they?
3 and 5.
3 and 5? So the 3-year-old is a girl or boy?
Boy.
It's a little boy. What's his name?
Josh.
Josh. And as you hold Josh's hand and you connect with his energy, does he remind you of anybody today?
No.
No. And what about the 5-year-old? Is that a girl or a boy?
Boy.
Another little boy? What's that little boy's name?
Maxwell.
Maxwell. Connect with Maxwell and his energy and his eyes. Does he remind you of anybody?
My cousin.
He reminds you of your cousin, that you're working with him again today. Very good. Well, now I've got that information, I want to ask, do you know you said that you live alone? Do you have a partner in that life?
No.
No? So what I want you to do now is I want you to close that scene and I want you to go to the last day in the life of Louise so we can just evaluate that life and see just how those challenges came about. So close that scene, drifting and floating forward all the way to the last day of Louise's life. 3, 2, 1. And tell me, how old are you now, Louise?
65.
You're 65? Uh-huh. Tell me, are you dying of old age or are you ill?
I'm ill.
You're ill? Uh-huh. And as you're able to feel yourself but also look down at yourself in your imagination, tell me, is there anyone else around you at this time? No, you're on your own. Uh-huh. And as you connect with that illness, what's going on there? Describe to me this illness. Flu? Uh-huh. So what I want you to do now, Louise, I want you to take a real deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just step your soul out of that body. And I want you to be about 3 foot above the body so that you can look down and we can evaluate that life. So as you're looking down now, as the soul that you are, I want you to connect with your senses and tell me, how do you feel now that you're out of the body?
Happy.
Uh-huh. Do you feel happy? Away from that uncomfortable flu and pain?
Yeah.
Yeah. And as you look at the body, knowing that you made a contract for various challenges, what was your contract? What did you come down to learn?
To care.
To care? Mm-hmm. And do you feel that you did a good job?
Yes.
Good. Very good. And now as you're looking around, usually there's someone or something come to collect you to take you back to spirit. Your mum? Uh-huh. I want you to embrace your mum and I want you to just step into her energy and just feel all her love, her energy and her devotion towards you. How is it making you feel?
Calm.
Calm. Mm-hmm. Well, I want your mum now to take you to your soul group. So as you connect with her hand, hold her hand and just allow yourself to drift and float towards your soul group.